Hey, I'm Slayyyter, and I just covered Violet by Hole for Like a Virgin.
The sky was made of amethyst. All the stars are just like little fish.
The album Live Through This was really impactful for me when I was in high school. I feel like I would listen to a lot of pop music, but then I would also, from the internet or just different things, discover different albums. And I feel like when I came across this album, I loved Courtney's voice. I fell in love with this record, and there's something emotional about this song. I think it was one of the first songs I tried to teach myself to play on guitar, and I always really just felt like it has this kind of emotional quality and this really rawness to it. A lot of songs on that album have a very like raw and emotional feeling to it, but yeah, I kind of just fell in love with everything about it. You know, I was born in the late 90s, so I feel like my discovery of most music was more so like in my like teen years, high school years, and like on Tumblr. I feel like I remember people would make these like Riot Girl edits, if you will, and that's kind of where I first came across Hole and Courtney Love and seeing imagery on Tumblr of like her performances and things like that. And I feel like I would watch YouTube videos and documentaries, and I just became so obsessed with the way she would perform and the way she would like tell the crowd to like fuck off. And I loved everything about it. I feel like I'd never, you know, experienced music like that, or, you know, I feel like when you're like a teenager, you go through like your angsty periods, and I feel like it would just kind of help me get my anger out of my system to like listen to that music and like scream it in my bedroom, and it just felt kind of like a full circle thing to cover. You know, she's reached out to me about my music since, and yeah, I feel like it just kind of felt like something that fit my voice and fit the live band that I've been playing with, and yeah, it felt like a perfect choice. More so in my music now, I feel like there's a lot of influence from different bands, and I love everything that Courtney does with her voice. I love music that has like raw screaming emotions throughout, and I think on this particular album of mine, there's a lot of influence from Hole and a lot of bands from the 90s that I love, but I feel like Courtney was just the coolest front woman that there ever was, you know? So I think that project really inspired me a lot and has, and I feel like I never really leaned on live instrumentation or using the kind of screamier parts of my voice in previous albums, but I really let loose on this project. So I just hope she likes it. I hope I did it justice, and I hope she loves it. Yeah. I've always wanted to do it. I feel like I was such like a YouTube kid and such a Tumblr internet kid in high school. I remember seeing so many different artists do covers. Like I feel like I feel like the earliest ones I remember are like Tame Impala or like Alt J or like, you know, different things. And I always just loved it. I always wanted to do it myself. And I feel like it's been a long time of me like really, really wanting to do it. So it felt really amazing today that like finally we got the opportunity. So thank you guys so much. For my original song today, I did a performance of Brand New Chanel's. I started the demo with my producers, Wyatt Bernard and Austin Corona, probably like 2 years ago around the time we made Beat Up Chanel's. And this demo didn't really have that much on it, just like a couple vocals, like a bit of like a melody of the and so I would always revisit. It was like a very unfinished song, and like for years I was just like the 2 years in between of this album coming out, I would keep revisiting it and being like, oh, I wish we finished the song, blah blah blah. And then I started working on new music, and then I was thinking about reopening this demo, and we did, and I had all these new life experiences to write about and things that had happened since the album came out, and I had this idea to make a bit of an inverse album where everything felt kind of like a flip of a song that came before it that had certain elements but still was like a fully new song. And so there was something about it that felt like an inverse. It almost felt like Beat Up Chanel's, like the part that's just the hook, that like euphoric pop hook, but all the way throughout. And so it felt like a good place to start. And since it was made around the same time as the original, I thought it would be like nice for the first inverse song, if you will, to be an inverse of the first single, which is Beat Up Chanel's. Yeah. It feels emotional. It feels really, it feels like it brings me and my fans and like audience close together, just because I feel like everyone has some kind of like pain that they're carrying, that they scream the lyrics out to themselves and everyone really feels it. But it's a very emotional song to sing. I feel like, yeah, I really love performing this one just because it feels so big and it feels like such a finale, you know, at the end of the show. But I really love this one. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting any of the I wasn't expecting this response to any of this music, but I really feel so grateful and happy that people connect with it so much. You know, I feel like I've been making music for a really long time, and it's interesting to see something I've made kind of click with people and inspire people to like DIY their own shirts for the shows and to listen to music that inspires me, or like seeing fans that like watch movies that I talk about in interviews. Like it's cool that everyone kind of loves like the full package more than just like the album itself. Like it feels like it's kind of created this, you know, wave with people that I really love, but I wasn't expecting any of it. So it's kind of just crazy, but I really appreciate it, and I feel grateful that people connect with it so much.